Altman and Taylor 30 to 60. This one only made the list because of its incredibly low RPM limit. Certainly not the 80 horsepower from its 1385.4 cubic inches of displacement. Granted, we'll cut it some slack since the design is over 100 years old, but still, the fact that its redline is lower than most modern four-cylinder engines idle is impressive. In addition to its massive displacement, it also holds a massive amount of coolant, 120 gallons worth. The hugely undersquared engine design features a 7-inch bore with a 9-inch stroke and creates a dismal HP-CI ratio of about 0.058 horsepower per cubic inch at its peak of 550 RPM. Ford N-Series 4-cylinder flathead. Used in the early 1930s in the N-Series of tractors, the 4-cylinder flatheads weren't particularly powerful, only making between 23 and 28 horsepower throughout the range of variants, at an astonishingly low 2,000 RPM.
There we go.
However, the most interesting part of the N-Series lineup is that it used many of the same parts as the legendary Ford Flathead V8, some hot rodders even heading to the local tractor supply store to get 2 piston kits for their V8. These engines and the tractors they powered still enjoy a healthy enthusiast following today. GMC Twin 6 702 V12. The GMC Twin 6 is a V12 engine that displaces a whopping 702 cubic inches. At first glance, it looks like 2 V6 engines welded together, probably due to the 2 intake manifolds, 2 distributors, 3-cylinder valve covers, and exhaust manifolds used. Make no mistake, this is a single massive block and a single-piece forged steel 180-pound crankshaft. Surprisingly, for a low RPM engine, the bore and stroke were over square, with a 4.560-inch bore and a 3.58-inch stroke, totaling up to 702 cubic inches. In its heyday, the 702 was rated at 275 horsepower at 2,400 RPM and 630 pound-feet of torque at only 1,600 RPM. Stout for a naturally aspired gasoline engine, even by today's standards. Hudson H145 straight 6. Debuting in the late 1940s and then refreshed in the early 50s for use in the Hornet, the Hudson H145 engine was a high-compression engine in those days, with a stout 7.2 to 1 compression ratio. The large undersquare configuration of a 3.8125-inch bore and a 4.5-inch stroke made it the largest 6-cylinder production engine of the day at 308 cubes, but gave it a very low power peak, with the more performance-oriented Twin H Power model producing 160 horsepower at 3,800 RPM and 260 pound-feet at 1,800 RPM. The H145 also enjoyed factory performance support and saw dominant use in the NASCAR circuit in the early 1950s.